Слава, давай, слова за кадром какие-нибудь. Давай, скорее. Ну, потом своим детям показывай.
Презентация сейчас. Давай, я
Слава, пошел.
Все, там записывается, да?
Конечно, давно уже.
Окей. Hello everybody. Today I want to tell you about Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's a national holiday in the USA. Martin Luther King Day, Jr. Day, is the U.S. federal holiday, a state day off dedicated to the African rights activist, Nobel Peace Prize winner Martin Luther King. The holiday is celebrated every year on the third Monday of January, and it's timed to the birthday of King on January 15. My presentation consists of 6 parts. Is introduction and some facts about Martin Luther, is his biography, activities, and his death. So holiday and conclusion. Okay. For a long time, some states did not recognize Martin Luther King's Day as a national holiday and an extra paid day off, or combined it with other holidays. So King's name was not present in the holiday's name. The holidays was finally established throughout the United States only in 2000. And this picture, in this slide, you can see the words: darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. His biography. Martin Luther King, born in January 15 in 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, and death in April 3rd in 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee, USA. He's the most famous African American preacher. A bright speaker, leader of the Black civil rights movement in the United States. King became a national icon in the history of American progressivism. Martin Luther King was an active figure in the U.S. Black movement and the first bright fighter for civil rights in the United States, fighting discrimination, racism, and segregation. Also, activity opposed the participation of the U.S. Army in the War of Vietnam. For an important contribution to the democratization of American society in 1964. Martin was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, killed in Memphis, Tennessee. In 2004, posthumously awarded the highest award of the United States, the Congressional Gold Medal. His activities. Martin Luther King was born in January 15, 1929 in the family of a pastor. The King's house was located off Arbor Avenue, the Atlanta area, where black people lived who belonged to the middle class. At age 30, he entered the Lyceum at the University of Atlanta. At age of 15, he won a competition for speakers conducted by the Afro-American organization in Georgia. In the autumn of 1944, King entered the College of Morehouse. During the period, he became a member of the National Association for the Progress of Colored People. Here he learned that not only black people, but also many white people are against racism. In 1954, King became pastor of the Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. In Montgomery, he led a major protest action against the black population, against racial segregation in public transport. After the incident in December 1955 with Rosa Parks, the boycotts of Montgomery bus lines lasting 381 days. Despite the resistance of the authorities and racists, he led to the success of the action. The U.S. Supreme Court recognized segregation in Alabama is unconstitutional. This is by bus boycotts and Martin Luther King. widely known was the speech of Martin Luther King, "I have a dream," which during a march to Washington in 1963 at the foot of the Lincoln Monument was attended by about 300,000 Americans. In this speech, he glorified racial reconciliation. King redefined the essence of American democracy's dream and lit a new spiritual fire in it. King's role in the non-violent struggle to pass a law banning racial discrimination was marked by the Nobel Peace Prize. He's dead. In March 28, 1968, King led a 6,000 march of protest in the business part of Memphis, Tennessee, whose goal was to support striking workers. On April 3rd, speaking in Memphis, King said, "They have 12 days ahead, but it doesn't matter, because I visited the top of the mountain. I looked ahead and saw the promised land. Maybe I will not be there with you, but I want you to know now we all, the whole people, will see this earth." In April 1st, at 6 hours p.m., King was mortally wounded by a sniper when he was standing on a balcony in the Memphis Motel, Lorraine. Now, Motel Lorraine, where King was killed, now is housed in the National Museum of Civil Rights. Holiday. This holiday, schools, office, post office and banks are closed. All the TV channels broadcast clips of performances from 16th. From radio receivers heard a statement of leader of the movement for equal civil rights. On the previous Sunday, small sermons are read in the churches. On Monday, there are memorial services, refined ceremonies, remissions of King's life dedicated to the struggle for peace. And young moms and dads tell their children a fairy tale about Martin, the apostle of militant non-violence, who has done so much to make America known today as a country of freedom and equality. On this day, there are demonstrations in defense of peace, social justice, as well as racial and class equality. In conclusion, I can say what as politician, King was a truly unequal figure. Outlining the essence of his leadership, he operated mainly in religious terms. He defined the leadership of the civil rights movement as a continuation of the former pastoral service and used African American religious experience in most of the messages. According to the traditional standard of American politician views, he was the leader believing in Christian love. This is the end of my presentation, and if you have questions, you can ask me.
So thank you for your presentation. People, questions? At least one question.
This person is connected with Russia.
So could you repeat your question?
This person is connected with Russia.
Russia?
This person connected.
Yes.
No, not connected.
I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious races, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. We will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day This will be the day when all of God's children be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free.